je vais la croquer. Rio Lago Saint-Tropez. Coucou, coucou fan. Coucou, coucou fan. Coucou, néon rouge greffure chez Tania. Bisous, cocktail papaya. Tu veux coucou fan, j'en parle.
I like you keep your money. I like you keep your money.
Tu veux coucou fan, j'en parle. Coucou. Tu veux coucou fan, j'en parle. Coucou fan. Tu veux coucou fan, j'en parle. Coucou. Tu veux coucou fan, j'en parle. Sam coucou fan. Ah. Coucou. Coucou fan. Coucou fan. Sam coucou fan. Coucou. Coucou fine. Coucou. Coucou fine. Coucou. Vodka, água de coco. Me chama rainha do bloco. Me faz até perder o foco. Ai. Coucou fine. Coucou. Coucou fine. Coucou. Coucou.
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online radio2funky.co.uk. Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
The Arts and Business Show with Mahmood Reza.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
I've been waiting by the phone for you, baby. Baby, baby. Won't you come home to me, baby? Baby, baby. Put minutes on my phone for you all day. 15 minutes of your voice, then the phone bang. Always checking my JPay, JPay. Send me a message on JPay, JPay. It's breaking, it's breaking, it's breaking hearts. It's breaking my heart. It's breaking, it's breaking, it's breaking my heart, yeah. My friends, they don't understand why I'm sticking around. But when you're all that he's got, you keep holding them down.
Baby, I just got back. I went to Miami for a month like a whole snack. I sent some attachments in my two-piece, know you like that. I just put some money on your books, I know you need that. They ain't give you life, but on my life feel like they must have. Ain't easy, what you going? I hop planes, it's a life hack. Sick, what you awake? I got heartbreak and jet lag. Keep that little pic that we took in my Chanel bag. When you touch down, you give me racks and Chanel bags. I've been alone before, baby, I know what you need. This ain't about prison, it's like where is the friends when you need them. I seen your mama last week, she been broken to pieces. And she still cook her soft with the cobbler and peaches.
Hold your head, you just paying the finest due. I can't even imagine what you going through. I cannot pretend to. Baby, you never alone, I'm locked in with you. By the phone for you, baby. Baby, baby. Won't you come home to me, baby? Baby, baby. Put minutes on my phone for you all day. 15 minutes of your voice, then the phone bang. Always checking my JPay, JPay. Send me a message on JPay, JPay.
Locked away like quarantine, money stacked on the canteen. Always got the pop, but can't never pop up with a BD. keep it mean. They sit around judging me, jealous how you with me. Tell me I do you too good, you do the same for me. I don't hear what they say, never had nothing real. Open your JB, I'll be telling you just how I feel. I'm a giant by the phone for you, baby. Baby, baby. Won't you come home to me, baby? Baby, baby. Put minutes on my phone for you all day. 15 minutes of your voice, then the phone bang. Always checking my JPay, JPay. Send me a message on JPay, JPay.
I want to know what happened with white folks. You talked about
Send me a message on JPay. Ooh, and I'll reply to you, baby.
Leicester's Black Music and Arts Station, Radio 2 Funky.
Welcome, everybody. What a beautiful, beautiful day we have. Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. And a great big shout out to our wonderful listeners, the Radio 2 family, management team, the wonderful DJs here, and you probably know, but I'm going to repeat it again, not only are we broadcasting live on the Arts Business Show, but we're also broadcasting DAB, Digital Audio Broadcasting, I believe it stands for. So you can tune into us, listen to us on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM. And on today's show, what are we going to have here? Today's show, we're going to be looking a little bit at the recent spring budget announced by our friend Jeremy Hunt. We're going to be looking at the impact specifically on 3 cultural reliefs. I'm going to look at one in particular. So if you are a theatre, there's some good news for you in the budget there as well. We're going to talk about some of the general stuff that's happened as well. And we're also going to be dipping our toe into the water of what I call Plan It, Do It, Profit. Until that, and we're also going to intersperse that with some announcements and broadcasts and all the rest of it. And if you're sitting there thinking, this is a fantastic show I've tripped upon, what is this Arts Business Show? Well, it's where the world of arts, social enterprise, community projects get to cuddle up with the world of business here, share some information, cross-fertilisation, all that sort of stuff. We're also going to announce and broadcast some stuff that's going on in the wonderful community of Leicester. If you've got a project you want to share, you know what you've got to do. You've got to drop us a line at info@radio2funky.co.uk or send us a message via all the variety of channels that we have. Let's take a breath. Let's have some music. And kicking off the show there was Cuckoo Fun, and also we had JPay there, Khadija, and it is now, as I said, it's a beautiful 9 degrees C here. The snows of recent weeks has dissipated here. The sun is sort of breaking through those clouds. It's nice and bright. And don't forget, on Sunday is that magic time. Spring forward, roll back, the clocks go forward. I'm also going to mention something, a little trip I had recently to San Diego. But until then, let's crack on with some music. And this is Kelpe Jones Worldwide.
I go spend them on you, my boo boo boo. Only you, my boo boo boo. The love way I feel now, true. Yeah, I'm a you could not feel rich, your type, yo, my boo boo boo. I say, even for club, we go order 50 as zoo. For only you, my boo boo boo. Shumba, yeah, you know I got you proper. Make you know the shake, my love, da. Make I drink you like you can't start. Show my baby's love and want me like that. Yeah, you know I got you proper. Make you know the shake, my love, da. Make I drink you like you can't start. Show my baby's love and want me like that. I hope that you with me. Don't be say I want to wash you, baby. You will never see a guy like me. No do yanga for me. I can't help this feeling. But you show me a magic. Momu kai no fito be. I'm a come yanko. Make I no like your body. Give me little wine, make a tumble. I'ma get you for Sajio. Make you no go leave me for Kanjio. Be like say you no sabi. I go dumbo to go for your body. If you look at all of my money, I go spend them on you, my boo boo boo. my type, yo, my boo boo boo. I say, even for club, we go under 50 years, zoo. For only you, my boo boo boo. Shumba, yeah, you know I got you proper. Make you know the shake, we love it, da. Make I drink you like it constant. Show my baby's love, you want me like that. Yeah, you know I got you proper. Make you know the shake, we love it, da. Make I drink you like it constant. Show my baby's love, you want me like that.
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online radio2funky.co.uk. Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
I'ma just drink till I love you again. I kinda hate you sober. Girl, I'm sorry, I'm lost in my feelings again. I'll be back once the drugs take over. You'll be wasting my time, all on my mind, and that doesn't make us closer. I've been wishing that I didn't know you, yeah. It's like champagne pop off and you pop up. Star-crossed lovers, what you call us. I just call you annoying, and I know you're the last one for me. It's like I call issues what you call trust. I caught up what you call us. You call me when you need me, when you see me. I can't call you mine. 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 Yeah. Girl, let me drink till I love you again. I still hate you sober. Sorry, I'm lost in my feelings again. I'll be back once the drugs take over. I hate myself when I'm with you, but you be feeling yourself when you with me. You love me so much when I'm winning, but when I need you, your love's like champagne pop up and you pop up. Star-crossed lovers, what you call us. I just call you annoying, and I know you're the last one for me. It's like I call issues what you call trust. I call up what you call us. You call me when you need me, when you see me. I can't call you mine. I can't call you mine. I can't call you mine. I can't call you mine.
You use my name for the wrong games. I cannot change when you tempt me. Right my wrongs, be the author. I can't fall for your offers. Yeah. But if I take another drink, I might need your ETA. So missed calls, I know you got a man, but it don't bother me. And I know it's misunderstood you, but you still think we can fall back in love.
Welcome back, folks. Here, that was two great songs there we had there playing for us. That was Cal P and Kofi, and it's 10:18 and a few seconds here on Radio 2 Funky. And did I mention, by the way, folks, that we are now broadcasting on DAB, so you can tune it in on your radio much more easily. If you are tuning in via DAB, let us know what you think. What's your experience in that? Is it a good one? Share some feedback with us. We'd love to know here. And that's a great big deal in the world of radio, getting a DAB licence here. So that's real great. Congratulations out to the management team at 2 Funky, our wonderful, loyal and growing listeners, as well as my fellow colleagues, DJs, etc. on the station here. So that's quite an achievement. The station's just under 3 years old here. So that's magnificent progress itself. So 10:19, and in just after 10:30, we are going to be dipping our toe in the water of a few things here. We're going to be dipping our toe into the water of the numbers. The Jeremy Hunt budget here, announced a couple of weeks ago. and what the main headlines are. Some of the main headlines dissipated across there. We knew some of them already, and then the impact the extensions of release into the cultural and creative sectors there as well. And I'll give you a brief rundown of what that involves. There's been some good news in terms of extension on deadlines, in terms of national insurance, which I'll talk to you about later on. You've got until July to do that. What is he talking about? Listen more and you will find out. And I talked about bulletins earlier on. Now, in the station, people send in things that are coming up within Leicestershire, that things that are going to be of interest to our wonderful listeners. So if you've got a project that's going on, if you've got a showcase event, if you've got an activity occurring, an exhibition or whatever, and you think, this would be fantastic for the wonderful Radio 2 Funky listeners, then drop us a line at the station. Email us at info@radio2funky.co.uk. You can contact us via the website, radio2funky.co.uk, and you've got all the various social media handles and channels to tap into. So a market bulletin, we'll have a look at it, and then it can potentially end up on the wonderful bulletin board that's going to be read out by all the DJs during the next week or two. So let me give you a little sample of what's in my bulletin board already. So there is a wonderful new audio drama broadcasting on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM, also available on DAB. And it's supported by the Audio Content Fund, and it's called Toy Boy. Sounds very intriguing. Let me tell you a little bit more about what this is all about. So it's based around a now divorced woman whose husband left her for a younger woman, how she deals with the breakup and moving on with life as she goes on to date outside of her age group. The drama explores relationship issues such as dating across different classes and ages and disapproving parents, along with some topics that can have stigma attached to them, such as attending therapy, dating on a budget, cosmetic surgery, amongst others. Now, you can listen to it between Monday and Friday at 8 a.m, but there's also an omnibus version every Saturday at 8 a.m. So pin back your luck holes, listen to radio drama. I think it's a fantastic way to get involved with the storyline, sit back, enjoy. It's a different experience to the TV, but it's a very positive, pleasurable experience nevertheless. And we're going to just dive into our next track here, La Pa feats Big Jade Rodeo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'ma get money. I'ma get money. You are now tuned in. Introducing. I'ma get money.
Money on my mind, money on my line. These other out of line like a DUI. Know the name ring bells, but I'm hard to find. Something like a young dime standing in a prime. Stay mentally focused, keep all my vibes potent. Got him gagging, I'm bagging, I'm not a game's hopeless. No, I'm spazzing, I'm tragic, keep both my eyes open. I'm bragging, I'm stacking, just double up my bonus. On top of the hustle like I'm a trap queen. When I swing through the block, it's like a mob scene. How you think you getting over on a real boss? Line them up and knock them down like a bowling ball. Gotta break the ice so they get the hype. My flow legit, everything precise. I shine bright, ain't no undercover. And when you with the real, you just grow to love.
Wake up every day, I'ma get money. Even when I'm asleep, I'ma get money. Bankroll on my mind, I'ma get money. Every day of the week, I'ma get money. Get your hands up if you get money. Get up, get you some money. Now I want you to get it, so get money. Everybody get money.
Competition, they vision up on my worst day. Get the cake by the pound like it's my birthday. Wear the crown with the kings cause I'm a visionary. Read them all like a book that's far from ordinary. Fly in and out of states to secure the bag. Never had to for a Birkin bag. I'm just saying I'm different, I'm on another level. These playing, I'm spraying like I'm a deadly weapon. Hold up, wait, gotta bring the encore. I'm a real young spitter with my own floor. Married to the Benjis, but it ain't no prenup. When I'm doing all my dirt, I make them clean up. Wake up with a purpose, just to make them nervous. You internally burning, cause I'm a lit flame. When I'm splurging, you working, check out the risk game. Can't create a boss when she boss, man.
Wake up every day, I'ma get money. Even when I'm asleep, I'ma get money. Bankroll on my mind, I'ma get money. Every day of the week, I'ma get money. Get your hands up if you get money. Get up, get you some money. Now I want you to get it, so get money. Everybody get money.
If you get money, put your hands up. If you get money, stand up. If you get money, put your hands up. If you get money, stand up. If you get money, put your hands up. If you get money, stand up. If you get money, put your hands up. Stand up, stand up.
Wake up every day, even when I'm asleep. I'ma get money. Bankroll on my mind. I'ma get money. Every day of the week. I'ma get money. Get your hands up if you get money. Get out, get you some money. I want you to get it, so get money. Everybody get money. Wake up every day.
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online, radio2funky.co.uk.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
La Pat, Rodeo, coming up to 10:26. Just gone 10:25 in a few seconds here. Should we have another bulletin? Yeah, let me share another bulletin with you here. Now, if you are somebody who likes music or likes entertaining or likes presenting or thinking, I'm not quite sure if that's my thing, why don't you check it out and look to becoming a DJ presenter on Radio 2 Funky. So we're on the lookout here for DJs and presenters aged between 18 and 35 to join a wonderful, wonderful team, a wonderful radio family. Now, if you love music and you think yourself a tastemaker, you need to get involved. You don't need experience, by the way, folks. You will get full training, you'll get full guidance, your hand will be held, metaphorically speaking, here as you dive into it. So even if you want it as an addition to what you're doing at the moment, if you fancy a career in the world of radio, entertaining and all the rest of it, it's a great start point. It's a great way. You develop lots of life skills, lots of wonderful talents here as well. And I said, full training and support will be given to you. So what have you got to lose? Drop a line to info@radio2funky.co.uk. And did I mention, by the way, we are now live on DAB as well as live streaming. There's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. The world knows no limitations here for Radio 2 Funky. So I think we're going to have another little song as we break into coming up to the 10:30 mark, and then we're going to have a little bit of a dipping into toe, and we're going to look at the budget from a couple of weeks ago and how it impacts on you individually. I'll share some headlines as well as talking specifically later on after 11 o'clock more about the impact on the creative sector for what is called tax reliefs or creative tax reliefs. Specifically, I'm going to be looking at the world of theatre.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'ma get money. I'ma get money. You are now tuned in. Introducing. I'ma get money.
Money on my mind, money on my line. These other out of line like a DUI. Know the name ring bells, but I'm hard to find. Something like a young dime standing in a prime. Stay mentally focused, keep all my vibes potent. Got him gagging, I'm bagging him, now the game's hopeless. No, I'm spazzing, I'm tragic, keep both my eyes open. I'm bragging, I'm stacking, just double up my bonus. On top of the hustle like I'm a trap queen. When I swing through the block, it's like a mob scene. How you think you getting over on a real boss? Line them up and knock them down like a bowling ball. Gotta break the ice so they get the hype. My flow legit, everything precise. I shine bright, ain't no undercover. And when you with the real, you just grow to love.
Wake up every day, I'ma get money. Even when I'm asleep, I'ma get money. Bankroll on my mind, I'ma get money. Every day of the week, I'ma get money. Get your hands up if you get money. Get out, get you some money. I want you to get it, so get money.
Between
Are you a small business looking to get your message heard? Why not advertise with us? We have a range of ideas that can help grow your business, cut through the social media noise, and talk directly to your audience. Contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Don't believe radio works? You're listening, aren't you? Leicester's Black Music and Arts Station, Radio 2 Funky.
I'm feeling sexy and free, like glitter's raining on me. You're like a shot of pure gold. I think I'm about to explode. I can taste the tension like a cloud of smoke in the air. Now I'm breathing like I'm running 'cause you're taking me there. Don't you know? You spin me out of control. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
And that was Late Now with Shiv and Domino with Jessie J, 10:36 here. So we dip our toe into the water. That was the Chancellor's spring budget here. So again, no great shocks to some extent. Some of them were announced last year, but a couple of surprises there. One of the things that got the big news attention here is about pensions. And there are 2 or 3 things to note about pensions. And I believe we actually mentioned it on a show previously, but effectively, if you are saving for a pensions here, the government says that the old rules used to be there was a maximum you could have to put in your pension pot over a lifetime. Most of us probably won't aspire to that level, get to that level, but it was about £1 million. So if your fortunes change, you hit that big time and you can put more into your pension pot. There is no lifetime allowance, as it's called. So you can put as much in there as possible. This is not pensions advice, by the way, but obviously at some point in the future, when you slow your life down, when you think things about doing something different with your life, you need to make sure you've got money to sustain you. You've obviously got the state pension, which I'm going to talk about in a few moments, and then you've got a private pension. In addition, there's no cap, or the cap's been increased for how much you can put into your personal private pension here. Pensions, by the way, are just one option. Not many of us think about the future. Not many of us think about at that point when I stop work, when circumstances change and I want to slow things down. Making money, sure, money's there to help us sustain us there as well. As I said, there is the state pension, which again I'm going to comment on in a few moments here. So that was the thing on private pensions. The link to personal state pensions is that in the UK, your state pension is based pretty much on how much national insurance contributions you pay during your lifetime. Typically, as a general rule, and this is not advice, by the way, obviously check out the details here, but giving you an overview, you need 35 years, what's called 35 qualifying years, in order to get the maximum state pension, which is about £185 at current times. If you're thinking that's too long away, Mahmood, that's about when you get to 67. They are tinkering around with the state age of 68 as well, but currently it's 67. Now, if you've got a gap in your national insurance record, or you think you will because you've not been working, you've not earned enough money, and all those things here, you can actually buy those years. Now, after the 6th of April, the original rules prior to the budget was that you can go back to 2006 and buy years from there, and it's worthwhile. Potentially said, this is not specific advice. Now, the deadline was the 5th of April. Too many people, it's log jammed here, and they've moved the extension to July. So if you're thinking, what does this all mean for me? 2 things to explore. If you're looking at your state pension thinking, I haven't quite got enough. One is to do a forecast, and the next thing, depending on what that forecast says, is you buy years if you think it's appropriate. I'll give you more of that after we hear from Lato Feet, Lula Carty, Lottery.
Somebody home care with the bill cost. Smooth skin, thick thighs, you can feel on. If he hit this, then he hit to make $1 million. Play him like a scratch off, think he getting lucky. Jackpot, baby, if I ever let you touch me. Sip me like wine, I'ma pop it like bubbly. A girl this fine, make it hard not to love me. Could this could change your life alone. He like, when I get on the microphone. These big old double D's, waist is on petite. Juicy like Capri's if I let him squeeze. Yeah, handcuffs with cream. I'm the girl of your dreams. Boy, you know you hit the lottery. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Ooh, if I let you put your hands all over me, if I let you unwrap all this in the sheets, if I tell you all my dirty fantasies, you won the lottery, you won the lottery. Ooh, if I let you take me home with you tonight, if I let you see what I got on my mind, if I tell you all my dirty this. Gotta prove yourself and show me what your purpose is. Show me that you really worthy of my services. I keep a new one on my arm where my purses is. You looking at a centerfold. Playboy bunny wanna take me home. Bad chick from head to toe. Tryna fold me up and lick it like an envelope. Yeah, all eyes on me. I'm the girl of your dreams. Boy, you know you hit the lottery. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Ooh, if I let you put your hands all over me, if I let you unwrap all this in the sheets, if I tell you all my dirty fantasies, you won the lottery, you won the lottery. Ooh, if I let you take me home with you tonight, if I let you see what I got on my mind, if I tell you all my dirty fantasies, you won the lottery, you won the lottery. Oh God, though, if I let you hit this, you know you hit the lotto, right?
Get in touch with us at Radio 2 Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 0755 18030.
Lato feat Lucala Lottery 1042. Let me just round up the bit about the state pension. So we're going to think is at some point when you get a current age is 67, it's forecast to move to 68. So when you get to that magic age, and that's both men and women in the UK, you will potentially, you can still carry on working, but you can claim your state pension, and effectively you will get the maximum current rates 185, but that depends on you having paid adequate national insurance contributions during your lifetime or being credited with those national insurance contributions. It's likely, and it's happened to quite a lot of people, you might be short, don't have enough qualifying years because you may not be in full-time work, you may not have not earned enough money, circumstances could be different, lots of weird and complicated things. You do need a little bit of a degree to understand all the detailed legislation, but in essence you have the possibility of buying those years that you are missing out on. Again, this is not specific advice over the radio, that would be very foolish, but effectively think of it in these terms. You pay a sum of money and you get a little bit extra on the state pension for your lifetime, and therefore, you know, as a weighing up exercise, it could be worthwhile doing, but you won't know until you do the evaluation. So step one, go on to Mr. Google, other search engines are applicable, type in HMRC State Pension Forecast, you have a link and you'll tap in your details there. You're going to have what's called a tax account, and it will give you a forecast, tell you what the gaps are. If you need to plug the gaps, if you want to buy those extra years, if you think it's worthwhile, make sure you check it out, make sure you know what you're doing, get the advice, etc. Then you've got until July to get it done if you want to go back to 2006. After the July deadline has elapsed, and that's already been moved once, you can't go back that far, and you can only go back about, I believe, 6 years in terms of top up there as well. So don't delay. Lots of people are doing it. There's massive problems with the site, but don't delay. If it's you think it's going to be applicable for you, then do it. Let me mention a couple of other things. Now, in the budget from a couple of weeks ago, the good news is fuel duty. There was a 5p cut in duty on petrol and diesel. It was meant to stop in April. That's been kept for another year. If, however, you are a smoker and or you like the odd tipple or two, then alcohol taxes are going to rise in line with inflation from August. And there's going to be a new release of beer, cider and wine sold in pubs. Now, yesterday they made the announcement that inflation's just about 10.5%. Core inflation. And that's basically where prices rise because of things like rising food prices, energy prices, other commodities as such. The underlying heart of inflation, the core element, is about 6%. Even though energy prices are forecast to drop later on this year, inflation's still being at a very high level here. So we've got some challenging times still ahead of us for the rest of this year. And I would certainly, it seems to suggest it's going to spill over to next year as well. Tax on tobacco is going to increase 2% above inflation, so probably a good time to think about quitting, perhaps, and 6% above inflation for hand rolling tobacco. Now, I used to be a smoker many moons ago. I gave up some years ago, and you go from manufactured cigarettes to hand rolled tobacco, but hand rolled tobacco has gone up quite a lot there as well. So those price rises aren't abating; they're going through. So again, it may be an opportune time to think about, not just for your health, but for your bank balance to perhaps reconsider your choices there.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio 2 Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. On the dangerous. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. No, glorious.
Say they riding with me, but I know that they ain't loyal. Say they ain't your team, but they ain't really rooting for you. Keep it on me when I'm riding. It's the game, get me sliding, then I'm sliding. Come on, let's take a ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
Traction, I'm riding with traction. Why I sell tucks the only time I'm slacking. On the op like a fool, we acting. Round of applause, we clapping. Hey, I do the dash when I drive. Baby on top, she do the dash when she ride. Hey, my self-respect too high. If you did me wrong, we could never get right. Can't pay for love, gotta pay my taxes. Gotta pay my thugs, cause they bout action. He should be a movie star, he good at acting. This a new era, they all capping, they rapping.
They riding with me and my brother. Say they riding with me, but I know that they ain't loyal. Say they ain't your team, but they ain't really rooting for you. Keep it on me when I'm riding. It's the game, get me sliding, then I'm sliding. Come on, let's take a ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
Tell me what it do. She gon' pick and choose. 4G's on her feet, pulling up in Jeeps. Round 4 deep, I'm like, baby, push the button. 100 on the dash, I ain't even had to touch it. Talking about war, told him ready up. Whip, I'm riding in fast. I ain't scared of nothing. Told her if she wanna ride with me, come and get lost. Know she messing with a boss.
They riding with me and my brother. Say they riding with me, but I know that they ain't loyal. Say they ain't your team, but they ain't really rooting for you. Keep it on me when I'm riding. It's the game, get me sliding, then I'm sliding. Come on, let's take a ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Ride, 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 ride. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
Got what it takes to be a presenter, or looking to gain valuable experience behind the scenes in radio? Why not join us at Radio 2 Funky? To get involved or for more information, contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Radio 2 Funky.
Absolutely, folks. I would highly recommend it. So if that's something that stimulates the interest, if you think, oh, I'd like to be a presenter, I'm not quite sure what that involves. I haven't got the experience. I've never done this before. Am I going to get training? Well, it's all positive. You're going to get training. You're going to get support here. And it's a fantastic thing to do. Even if you're working, as a lot of our DJs, and this is all a volunteer thing here, it's a great way to develop skills, great way to be part of a wider, bigger community here. And did I mention to you, not only do we live stream, but we have a DAB license as well. These aren't easy things to get here, so that just indicates what a wonderful quality station it is. Leicester's premier black music and art station here, so be part of that. Wouldn't that be fantastic here? But as I said, develop your skills. It's a great entry route if you decide you want to develop a career in radio. We've had some good experiences and good stories here of people who've been involved in this station. Other DJs here started their background in community stations as well. So lots of positives there to take away. So give it some thought, give it some consideration. Let's dip our toe back into the world of tax. Now, we talked about some of the prices going up in terms of tobacco, alcohol. We've talked about some freezing on petrol and diesel. Now, there was a government scheme that was due to end at the end of March on supporting household energy bills. We know energy costs are still very high. They are forecast to come down, by the way. So the wholesale price of gas is coming down, and that will probably feed through the retail market sometime later on this year. But the energy support from government is where the maximum bills for a household were not going to exceed £2,500. That's going to be extended until the end of June. So that's about another 3 months worth of support. If you're a leisure centre listening in, swimming pool, whatever, there is some government support there to help with the rising costs. If you imagine a swimming pool is going to be heated there, the amount of energy it must consume will be astronomical there. But there's some government support there going out for those wonderful leisure centres. Are you a swimmer? I'm a member of a gym. I go swimming every now and again, as far as that's concerned. So it's good news to keep those pools, those leisure centres open for our joy, entertainment, purpose and keeping fit as well. Obviously dovetails in very nicely if you decide to give up smoking. Going to a leisure centre might be a perfect complement for you to do.
The Arts and Business Show with Mahmood Reza.
Loving what you do and doing what you do with the pure enjoyment of knowing that you're the best at what you do. Yo, couldn't nobody with me then, couldn't nobody with me now, yo. Can't be serious, yo. Can't nobody, no f***ing body with me with this rap, yo. Check it. I've been spitting for 20 years. Hey, yo.
Sometimes I smile to hide the miles of my road travel. Shake my hand, it felt like you just touched the stove handle. Holy cow, the cow, I want the whole cattle. Gucci buffs on my eyes look like solar panels. Leaving bitches on their own like the Oprah channel. Can't trust my shadow, that's a fact that can't get overshadowed. Draco sounding like it's coughing from the smoking barrel. No peace, no serenity. Go break in your vicinity. They're like virginity. They ain't into these. It's just family like the Genovese, the Kennedys. The all street, cause ain't in the streets. Best rapper, ex-trapper, dress dapper. Swizzy gave me a headbanger, a neck snapper. X-Factor, make a rapper an X-sample. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample. Say it with your chest, mama. Say less, mama. We's the F and the F is for F-bomber. Yes, my mama eat you like Jeff Dahmer. Say she on a real, let's make a mess, mama. Don't be on all of that, yeah, that my twin. Alright, don't hit my phone with all that, I'm just tapping in. Alright, different. Alright, I'm on my Zen. Alright, I'm on that DMT, I ain't on that DM. Alright, trying to get a B, right now I'm on my M. Alright, I'm just wheezy, we on my, excuse my friend. Alright, that, alright, red beam on the Nina, she wore lipstick tonight. Blah, 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 blah. Best rapper, ex-trapper, dress dapper. Swizzy gave me a headbanger, a neck snapper. X-Factor, make a rapper an X-sample. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample. Swizzy on the drum machine, I got the gun machine. That go brrrr, sound like bumblebees. Gun come with a magazine, long as a limousine. You smell like decomp in the morning like some Jimmy Deans. Best rapper, ex-trapper, dress dapper. Swizzy gave me a headbanger, a neck snapper. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample. All I need is a beat with a DMX sample.
In touch with us at Radio 2 Funky via WhatsApp or text service on 0755441830.
And that was a wonderful track by Lil Wayne, Can't Nobody, and it's 10:55 and a few seconds left over. So let's just wrap up with some final bits and bobs on the budget that was announced here. So we talked about some of the headlines here. Now, this won't kick in until April 24. But if you've got children, there's going to be 30 hours of free childcare for working parents in England, expanded to cover now 1 and 2 year olds. But this won't be rolled out until April 24. So you've got some time to wait before that kicks in. Families on universal credit, if you are on universal credit, you're going to receive childcare support up up front now instead of in arrears, so that's going to help in terms of the cash flow management here with the £646 per month child limit raised to £951. My source of information, apart from the HMRC site, is our wonderful friends at the BBC on the channel here. So check it out there. You should receive notification as well. Now, if childminding is your thing, if you want to develop a career in there, the rules are being relaxed here in terms of who can become a childminder. Obviously, if you are looking for childminders to look after your kids, make sure you do your due diligence, the checks, and all the rest of it as well. So there's a few other bits and bobs there as well. And after 11 o'clock, I'm going to look at specifically one of the what's called a cultural tax relief, and that's going to be looking at theatres here. It's something called theatre tax relief, introduced in September 2014. I'm going to give you an overview what it actually all means and an overview about how you go about making a claim. And there's money in them there hills if you know how to tap into it. So shall we have a track, folks? This is Listen Up by Solomon.
Told you not to fall in love with me if I won't give you everything you need. Warned you 3 times, seems that's not enough. Is it love? Listen up. Oh, I feel like a broken record with you, but I know my previous issues are far from yours to fix. It ain't your fault, I prefer to be alone, 'cause my heart's been turned to stone, still here to heat you up at night. Told you not to fall in love with me if I won't give you everything you need. Warned you 3 times, seems that's not enough. Is it love? Listen up. As soon as I met you, found my composure, don't know what came over me. I've been burned to the 3rd degree, that's why I blow hot, bit cold like an AC. Guessing you up, then I backtrack, but lately I can see why it's been driving you crazy, how toxic it may be. Told you not to fall in love with me if I won't give you everything you need. Warned you 3 times, seems that's not enough. Is it love? Listen up.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio 2 Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
Festival 2 Funky is back for 2023 and will be the biggest to date as we celebrate our 10th year anniversary. Expect the best in live music, emerging talent, dance, graffiti, poetry, arts and so much more. Festival Too Funky 2023. Bank holiday weekend, May the 26th to the 28th at Too Funky Complex, Leicester. Fancy getting involved? Then email us info@twofunkyarts.co.uk. Festival Too Funky. More information coming to you soon.
And this dub plate has been requested tonight by some of the veterans here in Leicester who said, Rodigan, you have to play the Johnny Osborne.
The Truth Entertainment and Too Funky Music Cafe proudly present the legendary David Ram Jam Rodigan live in Leicester. David Rodigan returns to the Too Funky Music Cafe, 23 New Park Street, Leicester, LE3 on Saturday, 29th of April. Rodigan, with support from V-Rocket International out of Nottingham, Love Injection with Zuki, Tintin and German from Birmingham, and Leicester's Viking Sound. Plus authentic Caribbean cuisine on sale by G-Mars Kitchen. Tickets start at £20 from Skiddle. You know it's more on the door, if you can even get in on the door, that is. Last year was a roadblock. This year we raised the temperature even higher. Sir David Rodigan, MBE Dub Plate King, live in Leicester. Back at the Too Funky Music Cafe, Saturday 29th of April from 10 till 4 a.m.
Dancehall Takeover Events presents Dancehall Meets Soca. Dancehall Meets Soca, the Glow Party. On Saturday the 25th of March 2023 at the Too Funky Lounge, 23 New Park Street, Leicester, LE3 5NH. DJs on the night in Room 1 representing Team Soca. DJ Matches from Soca Frenzy and DJ Guff Nuff. Supported by Fire Love International. Representing Team Dancehall, Junior Blues and DJ Black or British. Room 2, R&B, Afrobeats, Amapiano, Old School Dancehall. DJ Nine Shocks plus guest DJs. Tickets available on www.skiddle.com. £5 early bird tickets, £8 standard tickets, more on the door. Dancehall Meets Soca, the Glow Party, March 25th at the Too Funky Lounge.
Easter Bank Holiday Sunday, we're bringing the party hard to you. Too Funky Music Cafe have dropped the big one. Live on stage, performing his biggest anthems, one of the UK's biggest stars, Deneo. Deneo performs all his biggest hits, including the new smash, Let There Be Light. Easter Bank Holiday Sunday, Deneo live at the Too Funky Music Cafe. Your DJs are Glamour, Lombardo, Dominate, Attish, Cypher, DJ Peps and guests playing the best UKG, UK Funky, two-step, R&B, dancehall, Afro beats and your favorite party classics. Deneo live. Easter Bank Holiday Sunday, 9th of April at the Too Funky Music Cafe, Leicester, LE3 from 10 till 4 a.m. Tickets are available now from skiddle.com. Book the date on your calendars. Get your tickets now. Get your outfits ready. Easter Bank Holiday Sunday. Come party hard with Deneo.
You know we are gonna party hard.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio 2 Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk. 95 FM, on DAB and online at radio2funky.co.uk.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
Absolutely, broadcasting DAB, Radio 2 Funky 95 FM. You're with Mahmood here, keeping you company up until midday on the Arts Business Show. And following me, we've got some wonderful DJs. Not some, we've got all wonderful DJs here. We have Sandro looking after you, Rhythm Nation 12 till 2. We have Wayne McDonald, Sugar Radio 2 till 4. We've got more DJs after that. I'll announce them and drip them in before the show finishes at midday. And we had Listen Up, Solomon and Word Up Cameo, and we are now at 11:09. So if you're a theatre, then there is a set of tax reliefs for you here. And if you think, oh, we don't actually pay tax, Mahmood, well, doesn't matter. If you're a company, so you can't be like a sole trader, you can't be an individual theatre, you can form a company. If you're a company effectively, and you are registered with the tax office, if you're not registered, you can register with them. If you're a charity as well, that counts for you, then you are eligible to claim one of the cultural tax reliefs that have been there since about September 2014. What that means is, if you're a touring company, or you're a theatre that doesn't tour, but you actually just do live performances here, there are criteria here. There's potentially money in the bank for you, some advantageous tax reliefs here that you can tap into, and that will help obviously support that venture. And this is all raft of a series of measures here where prior to lockdown, the cultural and creative sector was probably, I would say, one of the more buoyant sectors in the United Kingdom, growing, contributed an oodle amount to the British economy, employed, loads of people, engaged audiences, provided a massive good fabric to communities up and down the United Kingdom and around the world. And since lockdown, that's obviously taken a bit of a pounding. So the government have earmarked the creative sector as an engine of growth here, and they're putting money there to extend some tax reliefs here in the creative and cultural tax reliefs. There are a variety, by the way. The three ones they mentioned in the budget were theatres, films and orchestras. I'm going to be talking about theatres in particular. I'm going to outline what this actually means in English, the reliefs that are available, how you go about it, and what that means in hard, cold cash. So that's going to be good. So let's have a little bit of an intro song here, and after we hear from Lizio, I shall go straight into it.
To somebody judging me, no surprise they judging me. Don't know who I'm supposed to be. I'm just acting up. I'm precious, fucking never saying sorry. Found out in the end that I can only do it for me. You call it sensitive and I call it superpower. You just lack empathy cause you think it gives you power. All I know is only God can judge me. I don't hide my heart, I wear it on me. I'm used to feeling alone, so nobody told you today you're special. In case nobody made you believe you're special. Well, I will always love you the same. You're special. I'm so glad that you're still with us. Broken, but damn, you're still perfect. Special. Could you imagine a world where everybody's the same and you could cancel a girl cause she just wanted to change? How could you throw stones if you ain't been through a pain? That's why we feel so alone, that's why we feel so ashamed. I'm used to feeling alone, so I thought that I'd let you know. In case nobody told you today you're special. In case nobody made you believe you're special. Well, I will always love you the same.
on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Radio 2 Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
Welcome back, folks. That was Lizzo's special 1114. Let's talk theatres. Let's talk theatre tax relief here. Again, there are other creative cultural tax reliefs available. Orchestras, films, animation. There's a whole wide variety of tax reliefs given in the creative tax sector. And that's to stimulate investment, support the sector as well. But it actually means tax reliefs here. Even if you don't pay tax, you can still get money coming into your bank account as well. How does that happen? Well, let's, as I said, focus on theatres here. So first of all, criteria, always important here when you look at any sort of thing offered by the government and HMRC by way of what's called tax reliefs, tax incentives. There are always going to be conditions and criteria attached to it. So don't focus just on that money coming into your bank account. Make sure you go through the processes accordingly. So it's got to be a live performance. There's got to be availability for members of the public, general public, or for educational purposes, so money is going to change hands. So if it's merely providing it free and it's not providing it as an educational resource, then that's not going to qualify. If you're using wild animals, if it's a promotional production, if it's a competition, if it's performance of a sexual adult nature, then it won't qualify. So you've got to make sure that the production doesn't consist of or include any of those competitive elements, performances of an adult sexual nature, using wild animals, and it's a promotional thing. Now, if you are touring, there's an extra little benefit. If it's non-touring, doesn't matter, you still get some form of benefit. Now, what it is focused on is actually focused on the cost of the production. It's what's called core expenditure, and it's weirdly divided into several phases. So you've got to make sure that somewhere in your organisation you know what you're spending on this production. You know, you can break it down by the different phases, and the 4 phases are development, where you develop the concept; the production, that's like preparing the script, the sets, the cast, the costumes, the actual running of it, the actual live performance, and the final stages are the closing of the performance, the clearing away the sets, the props, the costumes, etc. That doesn't mean you have to have all 4 stages there, but that's where the money will be allocated. So it's core expenditure on those different aspects. I'm going to dive into this a little bit more, but I think we're going to have a break here. Let's listen to this wonderful track here called Logic, High Life.
Come on down, if you don't then I'ma have to show you. Don't overthink it, let it go, just let it happen for you. Come on down, take a hit after I light it up. You know we gon' fly after I light it up. High, don't lie, so high. Break it down, roll it out, get high. Online, so fly. Every day, yeah, you know I get high. Don't lie, so high. Yeah, this is the reason I'm fly. Every day, yeah, you know I get down in the morning, yeah, I light it up. What's up? Yeah, you know the boy blazing, man. Know this feeling so amazing, man. Know the haters don't faze them, man. We're still vibing. It's just me and the homies and we vibing. And every day, you know we stay high, no lie, so high. Break it down, roll it out. I see around me all the time, yeah, sometimes I doubt myself in the moment, only for a moment. I know it ain't always gonna be this way, what can I say? That's why I buy it, break it, roll it, light it, smoke it, ignite it every day. High, no lie, so high. Break it down, roll it out, get high. Online, so fly. Every day, yeah, you know I get high. So high, yeah, this is the reason I'm fly.
music and art station. Radio 2 Funky.
Welcome back here. That was Logic High Life, 11:19 coming up to 11:20. Let me round up and finish off what we're talking about theatre tax relief, or sometimes you see it abbreviated as TTR. So it's got to be about money spent on core expenditure, as it's called, and that's in respect of producing and closing the production. You can include costs for development, production, running and closing of the show. That's for everything from the concept idea, the script reading, the prep, the cast, the costumes, the actual performances, and then closing down the performance as well, clearing away all the sets, props, costumes, etc. Now, logically, you've got to be able to identify the money that you're spending against those different headings. At the end of the process, you have to submit an application. You submit some documentation to HMRC with the basis of the claim, why the claim should be valid, what you're claiming for, etc., etc. So again, make sure you check out and get the appropriate support and advice that you need to. You want to make sure you claim the maximum, and you want to make sure it's eligible as well. And there's going to be some additional bits and bobs that will be needed. Anything that you can identify and match to those different headings is all potentially eligible for a claim. Even if costs are shared across that board, you can allocate it and apportion it equitably. Now, what does that actually mean in monetary terms? Well, think of it in two stages. First of all, it says you can claim up to about 80% of that expenditure against any income that you're generating. So some theatres will be profit making, some theatres will be a mix and a hybrid there as well. They may be registered charities, but they're still charging ticket money, ticket entrance fees and all the rest of it. So effectively you can offset that against and reduce any potential corporation tax bill. Now, as is likely for lots of people, it may be by the time you put those claims in, claim that additional uplift, you're going to, on paper, have a loss. Now, the good news is that loss can be converted back into hard cash. Now, the old rates up till sort of summer last year was about 20 or 25%. So if you're touring, you can claim 25% of that as a reduction. I get some money back. I'll give you some figures in a moment. But now that rate went up to 45 and 50%, which is really good news. And the budget said that's going to stay as it is, certainly for the next couple of years here, so you're going to have a much more advantageous amount. So if you imagine you've got 10 grand's worth of costs, that's the uplift. Under the old rules, that's 2 grand's worth of tax coming back, or 25% if you're touring. It's now potentially up to as much as 50% of that if you're a touring company. So that's obviously good news here. There are time limits by which you can make this claim, so you need to make sure that you're not running out of time here. Typically, it's a year after the end of your corporation tax filing submission. But anyway, if it's relevant for you, check it out. Make sure you don't forego out on what I call that advantage. You know, it's going to help. Theatres are, they're a difficult thing to manage and to run and all the rest of it, and every penny does help. So that's obviously something the government's extended. It's going to go back to the older rates in 2 years' time here, but for now, it's there. Make the claim, check out HMRC, talk to your advisors, whatever, but don't let it slip under the radar and not claim it at all. Should we have some music, folks? And after 11:30, I'm going to be dipping into Plan It, Do It and Profit here. Just giving you an outline. What do I mean by that? Well, watch this space, or I should say, listen to this space, and I'll also drip in some more bullet stuff off the bulletin board here. For now, this is Logic Paradise.
Cruising through the borderlands, catch a vibe. Fatherhood, my hustle nowadays. I'm making music on the side. I confide in the page. Weed smoke, fill the air like sage. 32 my age. I spot a couple grays. Feel my blood pressure raised. No longer are the days of my childhood. My priority nowadays is making sure my wife and my child good. Stepping to me, I wish you would. Lord of the Rings, my bling shine like Elijah Wood. Yeah, the lows be low, but the highs be good. Beneath the sheets like an Isley Wood. I picked up the mic, oh my God, he good. Retired and came back just like they thought he would. Feel it and face it. I'm trying to face it. The rest is place it. Hey yo, I want you to play this and vibe in the ride. I'm finally happy with the man on the inside. Full of pride, full of fear. Been a decade, but I'm here seeing clear. Different motivations, no longer the people that's up in my ear. I woke up early on my born day like Nazi and 9-4. 365 behind me now, plus one more. My physical frame made it beyond what they said it would. My debut album did better than Reddit said it would. Made it out the trap, but I got my yeah, that's a fact. I'm running it back like what's up? From the cover of double XL to my moment of clarity as I excel at Madison Square. I swear the rap game will split your like an affair. Prepare for the worst. In this business can get grimy. Got them all behind me. Come now, don't try me, cause I'm me, the god. Study like I'm abroad. This is dad music. Pick up the pen and know how to use it. Plenty responsibility in me, know how to use it. Appreciative for what I got, cause people could lose it. Take these lyrics and use it. Take the heart on my sleeve and transfuse it. I'm bleeding as you listen to what I'm reading. No longer needing approval and feeding into the vision of the public. I'm above it. Used to do it how they did it, cause I thought that's how you did it. Now I do it cause I love it. I don't covet everything they got that I don't.
Let me out on the water. Bring me into your sunny day. Bring me out on the water. Let me into your sunny day. Get me out of this water. Bring me into your sunny day. Get me out of this water. Let me into your sunny day. Stop trying to make it right. Gotta keep it nice and light. Won't you take me for a ride? Take me into paradise. Gotta keep our heads tonight, even if it makes a fight. Take me into paradise. Here I am in
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online at radio2funky.co.uk.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
It certainly is. It's Radio 2 Funky on DAB Radio, Leicester's premier black music and arts station here, broadcasting on the Arts Pitching Show with your host Mahmood here up till midday. And after midday, we have the wonderful Sandro looking after you on Rhythm Nation. Between 12 and 2, followed by Wayne McDonald, Sugar Radio 2 till 4. And that's not all. Urban Meltdown with Brett Costello between 4 and 6. And you've got Vibes, LVT 6 till 8. And we still haven't finished the evening. You've got Roller Funk with Loz, Pez and Jake, 8 till 10. And then take us up till the witching hour midnight, DJ KMS, the golden age of hip-hop, between 10 till 12. Now I'm going to wait through the window in a moment here, and Sandra might see me waving here. We might be able to entice him before 12 o'clock, just give us an idea what's come up on his show at midday. If not, it's going to be worth waiting for, folks, nevertheless. And that was Logic Paradise here, taking up to 11:28. Now after 11:30, we are going to be having a look at something called Plan It, Do It and Profit. It's a good framework, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. We're going to no doubt revisit it several times over the next few months, few years. And I think before we dive into the 11:30 break, let me share some more stuff off the bulletin board. Now, if you just come into the show, welcome. Thank you very much for your company. And if you're running a project in Leicester, Leicestershire, around, you think it's going to be of relevance to our readers, it's an arts project, a social enterprise project, an activity, an event, an exhibition, anything you think that might tick the boxes there, then drop us a line at info@radio2funky.co.uk, mark it bulletin board here, we can have a look at it, and then who knows, it will appear on the sheet and it will be read out by all the DJs over the coming week or so. So it's going to be worth looking at. Now, Thursday 30th of March, this is BBC introducing HQ Familiar and Friends, And it's BBC Introducing East Midlands have teamed up with HQ Familiar and Friends to curate a lineup of some of the best upcoming talent and live music taking place at Too Funky Music Cafe. Now, it's a free event. It's hosted by BBC's Dean Jackson, Dr. Yass and Manish Kula. You've got to be 18 plus, though, by the way, and ID will be required. And it takes place between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Funtopia takes place on the Saturday, the 8th of April. It might seem a long, long way away, but time catches up pretty quickly, doesn't it? And it's a big day out for little kids coming back to Leicester. It's got high energy inflatables, play areas, shows, competitions, character meet and greets, giant games, huge water fights, a tasty food court, and more, plus an under fives area with bouncy castles, soft play, ball, pool and other fun games. Now, this year it's going to have an exclusive autism friendly session, limited numbers, no music, sensory games and activities for children who may struggle to attend a general Funtopia event. Timings: the autism event takes place between 10:30 11:30am and the main event 11:30am to 5:30pm, and it takes place at the Leicester Race Course. For those sat-nav people out there, Lima Echo 2 for Alpha Lima.
Are you a small business looking to get your message heard? Why not advertise with us? We have a range of ideas that can help grow your business, cut through the social media noise, and talk directly to your audience. Contact info@radio2funky.co.uk or call us on 011 62 55 9837. Don't believe radio works? You're listening, aren't you?
The Arts and Business Show with Mahmood Reza.
Hello, Nino? I literally can't hear you. I'm outside of the club right now, and okay, I'm gonna call you back. All right, bye-bye.
Love me, she love me or not. Get curved, I used to. New girls, I'm used to. Love me, she love me or not. Get ghost, I used to. New ghost, a new boo. Love me, she love me. I used to be down and I bet with no cash in my back, being broke, I was used to. I remember my homie said when you get money, them shorties gon' come up and use you. And I'll talk about you cause they sending it to me while you still waiting for it in the store. Now you see me, I'm traveling fresh like a mannequin, felt like I'm living up in the story. I get a drip, you dehydrated, and I used to get curved, but it's fine, baby. No, I didn't respond, it's my pride, baby. No, I had it, don't shorty good night, baby. Used to mess me up good, now they down bad. Made it out the hood and I'm a town man. Now they wanna ring and that's full circle, and I really couldn't get around that. Get curved, I used to. New girls, I'm used to. Love me, she love me or not. Get ghost, I used to. New ghost, a new boo. Love me, she love me. Coming for me, but ain't finna stop. Yeah, my option became my biggest op. Wanna be top 5, but I will live or die. Now they realize that I've been a guy. Now they switching up, gotta love it. The label pulling strings, you're a puppet. I'm trying to be the hood where I'm Buffett. I went from taking baths in a bucket. Don't wait, better give me my flowers. If I date, then something about it. What is fame? What is money and power? Appreciate every minute and hour. I dropped out of school, now they study me. Can't believe lately you look like a lot of me. Literally, suddenly everyone knew I would make it. Remember they used to be doubting me. And now I'm on the flight when y'all are snoring. He wanna feature his songs are boring. Counting my blessing is so important. From hoes in my shoes to a whole endorsement. Thought I was taking a loss, was counting me. I was accounting the cost. I quit the job and then became a boss. See, they better save me, I'm drowning in sauce. Get curved, I used to. New girls, I'm used to. Love me, she love me or not. Get ghost, I used to. New ghost, a new boo. Love me, she love me or not. Get curved, I used to. New girls, I'm used to. Love me, she love me or not. Get ghost, I used to. New ghost, a new boo. Love me, she love me or not.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please call your directory and call again. Or
Nino,
ask
you're
your
a literal
operator for
munch.
assistance.
You're a literal munch.
This is a recording.
You're a literal munch. You're not answering? Okay.
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online at radio2funky.co.uk.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
And that was Love Me Not by Jay Way. It's 11:34, so there's only about 20 odd minutes to go here. So let me squeeze in the last bulletin. And we're going to look at this thing called Plan It, Do It, Profit. So Now, it might seem, again, an age away, but we know how quickly diaries fill up. So this is Easter Family Day, taking place on Saturday, the 8th of April. So if my fingers are correct, that's about 2 weeks on Saturday. So it's not that far to go, is it? So it's food, music, games, competitions, prizes, sweets, cakes, stand and more, taking place between 2 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Kids a £5 and food is included as well. Adults £2. Location at the African Caribbean Centre, Maidstone Road, Leicester. And again, I'll put the sat nav in there just in case you're not familiar with where the African Caribbean Centre is. LE2 OUA, or if you want it phonetically, Lima Echo 2 Oscar Uniform Alpha. Now, if you're thinking, Mahmood, your command of the phonetic alphabet is incredible. How on earth did you manage that? Well, when I was at school, and I went to school in London, there was something called ATC, which is like the Air Training Corps at the time. Effectively, it's for those basically join it. So those people who might have had long-term ambitions to either go to the RAF or just like flying or part of something here. And I learnt it there. A military career probably wasn't for me on the grounds that I didn't really take instructions very well when I was that age and youth here. But it was a good experience. Got to fly, got to do gliding, got to do a variety of other things, go on camps and all the rest of it. So that was quite enjoyable. And that's weird, isn't it? That's going back quite a number of years, but my memory of doing the phonetic alphabet still stuck. So obviously that shows you certain things in your life you can learn and stick with you. Certain other things just dissipate and go by the wayside itself. Now, what I want you to do, folks, imagine somewhere that you've been to or have got ambitions to travel to, your favourite destination, or potentially a place that you've never been to before, whether it's in the UK, whether it's overseas, and visualise you being in that magical, wonderful place. It could be a tropical sunset place, it could be the Arctic, it could be part of South America, it doesn't matter. Your choice, where would that place be? And I want you just to plant that in your mind, visualise it, feel it, taste it, see it, visualise it, and all the rest of it. And that's all I want you to think in terms of, what is that destination? What does it look like to you?
I've been going for some changes.
Glacier, you cold.
LVT.
Just sitting in bed, just taking the view. Wonder if my time will ever come through. Tossing and turning, I ain't sleeping at night. Show me, Lord, what I gotta do. I feel like you really forgot me. Show me the way. I think I lost me. Open these doors. There are no locksmiths only for me, but also my cousins. God is the greatest, but same been trying me. I seen the drum, just weighing the rainy. See, I feel the pain. My mother not choosing me. It made me strong like Nets. Now look at me. Coming for everything, said that I wouldn't be. I want it all. I'm taking the custody. I got the power to change like a rhapsody. Dreaming so big, I live in a fantasy. Whoa, I'm between two places. Should I stay or should I go? You heard me to my codes. Love things just hoax. Change what I'm looking for. I dream of a life with riches, no poverty. I pray for peace and also my family. I'm on the way to build my own legacy. Ain't even made it, but said that you're part of me.
Change is what I'm looking for. No, I ain't telling no more. Change is what I'm looking for. No, I ain't telling no more. Change is what I'm looking for. No, I ain't telling no more. Change is what I'm looking for. No, I ain't telling no more.
Hey Angel, I wish to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Lord God for such a wonderful daughter. I'm very proud of you, and that you must know, and I vow to stand by you every step of the way. I pray that you move from one level of glory to another level of glory in all these fields of life. Seize every opportunity available to you and exploit your full potential. You are a celeb in the making. Continue to follow your dreams and have an indelible impact to this world. You are wired for greater exploits, and the sky is the limit. Keep shining, my dear. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
black music and art station, Radio 2 Funky.
That's LVT Changes, and it's 11:39, 11:40. Doesn't time run away very quickly? So what did you imagine, folks? Where was your destination of choice? What was that place? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? Can you taste places? You certainly can here. Certain places have a magic about them, doesn't it? So is it in the UK? Is it outside the UK? Is it in Europe? Is it outside in the Caribbean? Where is it? So wherever that place is, just visualise that as your destination. Now, if you want to get there, that journey that you've got to make there, you've got to do things actually figuring out your best route to actually get there. You want that route to be something that provides minimum disruption, maximum pleasure. You want to focus on getting to that destination. Some people like the journey in its own right here. So just imagine that planning of the route. What does it entail? You know, if it's overseas, one imagines you're going to be travelling, you know, an aircraft might be in there. You might be using the boat and the ferry. It might be a slower trip there as well. So what does that actually feel like? What does that actually look like? If you're going by train as part of your journey, do you know which stops you've got to make? Do you know which stations you've got to catch the train at? You're going to be looking for the best opportunity, the best plan, the best ticket price for it. If you're flying, again, you're going to be taking into account things like the convenience, the comfort, where you want to travel from, and all the rest of it. So how much effort goes into that planning that route there as well? And not only at planning that route, but you're also thinking about what you need to do when you arrive at your end destination, your country. Do you need any foreign currency, assuming you're going outside of the UK? Do you need any inoculations? Do you need visas? Do you need paperwork? A whole bunch of things are going to go into your consideration. Also, as you think about what you're going to be taking with you on that journey, what you need to do to get there, you're doing it such that you don't actually end up, you know, having disappointments. You don't end up in a place and thinking, I've got nowhere to stay, I don't know what the currency is. So we always do these things. We plan our route not to actually take the fun out of the journey, not to take the fun of arriving at our destination, but to minimise and get rid of any problems and risks that may occur. So for your destination, your Caribbean island, your Arctic venture, your just travel to the other side of the world, your trip to Blackpool, wherever that might be, what does that journey actually look like? You know, what is it that you need to consider? What is it that's going to be obstacles along your journey route here? Do you have those in mind? Think of them. We'll come back to that in a second.
On 95 FM, on DAB, and online, radio2funky.co.uk.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Leicester's black music and arts station, Radio 2 Funky.
11:46. That was Matt Brookman and New Volve Music. Are we thinking about the destination? And the whole idea is we work backwards. Once we know where we want to get to, that wonderful island, that wonderful destination, you know, cold, hot, whatever it does, is what is for you that ideal destination here. We work backwards to figure out the route. Now, we know if we sometimes are planning a journey, if we delay, you know, we don't get round to check out the flight times, we don't get round to check out the best deals, all those deals will suddenly vanish, and before we know it, when we come time to actually look at it and book it and do all those wonderful things here, those good deals have gone. We've lost the opportunity to get some really good advantageous price discounts and whatever. And we then think about when we get on that journey here, you know, if we're delaying, if we're faffing about, we leave too late in the morning, traffic's going to be quite heavy, you know, we're going to get caught in traffic that's going to take our attention away from the enjoyment of the route there, and that journey is still going to be made, but it's not going to be as pleasant, it's not going to be as positive as well. We need a bit of focus, we need a bit of dedication, and we don't want to over-ruin the trip, we don't want to make it a chore, but we certainly want to make sure we ultimately end up where we would like to be. We've got some consideration what that destination looks like. We've got some consideration about what we need to do going forward here. We need a bit of a clarity here. We also then make sure we've got the money to do that. We're going to make sure we've got the right clothing, the right attire, everything else on that nature you've got to put together and figure out. Now, if you're thinking, Mahmood, are you a holiday planner? Are you planning, are you now going to a travel agent's business? Well, the analogy of the parallel is in your personal, your business life as such, that planning it, doing it and profiting it has got great comparisons to actually undertaking a favourite destination, a favourite travel to your place. You've got to think about your end goals. What does that look like? You've got to articulate them. You've got to be smart about them. You've got to be able to describe them. And you decide what your personal end business goals actually are. It's not for somebody else to decide. It's for you to decide. You've then got to go backwards and figure out, how do I go from point A, which is the start, and end up at point B, which is your end point there as well. And therefore, when we look at that, there are lots more things to throw into the mix. I'm just going to give us a flavour for today, and I'd like to sort of broaden this conversation out over the next few weeks there as well. I think, folks, I'm just going to give my little vocal cords a bit of rest here, and this is Maya Law, Mother Tongue.
Bad guy, my mother tongue sends me off into moonlight where I learned to run before I walk into hungry eyes wondering, tell me about your suffering. I can see it now, shunned as they sharpen their tongues. Well, I could be my own shapeshifter, saving face while I'm walking with you. Teach me how to learn the scripture. Well, I could be the perfect mixture, seasons change with my skin. It's been years since I've been hiding. Which way is up? Which one is home? Now that I'm here, I'm all alone. sky, I must confess, the error was mine. Birthright leaves me undressed, with nowhere to hide. Maybe if I'd known, then I'd buy myself a new disguise. When nothing seems to fit, when I'm squeezing into your script. But I could be my own shapeshifter, saving face while I'm walking with you. Teach me how to learn the scripture. Well, I could be the perfect mixture. Seasons change with my skin. It's been years since I've been hiding. Which way is up? Which one is home? Now that I'm here, I'm all alone. Bad guy. Oh, 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 no, bad guy, you know. Maybe I exist too much. Tell me, am I not enough? I could be my own damnation. Someone better give me some salvation. Well, maybe I exist too much. Tell me, am I not enough? I could be my own damnation. Someone better give me some salvation. I could be my own shapeshifter, saving face while I'm walking with you. Teach me how to learn the scripture. Boy, I could be the perfect mixture. Seasons change with my skin. It's been years since I've been hiding. Which way is up? Which one is home? Now that I'm here, I'm all alone. Oh, bad guy. Oh, hey, no, bad guy, yeah.
Games, changes, and fears. When will they go from here? When will they stop? I believe that fate has brought us here, and we should be together, babe, but we're not. I play it off, but I'm dreaming of you, and I'll keep my cool, but I'm feeling. I try to say goodbye and I choke, try to walk away and I stumble. Though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not there. Goodbye and I choke, try to walk away and I stumble. Though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not there. I may appear to be free, but I'm just a prisoner of your love. And I may seem alright and smile when you leave, but my smiles are just a front, just a front. Hey, and I play it off, but I'm dreaming of you. And I'll keep my cool, but I'm feeling. I try to say goodbye and I choke, yeah. Try to walk away and I stumble. Though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not near. Goodbye and I choke, yeah.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Radio 2 Funky, or visit our website radio2funky.co.uk.
And folks, we're coming up towards the end of the show. That was I Try with Macy Gray. It's 11:56. It's nearly going to be 12 o'clock. Sonia's going to be looking after you. You're in great company. Rhythm Nation 12 till 2. And I'm just going to wrap the show up. We're going to have a nice final track going out there called Blue World. And until we meet again next week, have a fantastic week ahead. Remember all the bulletins that we've talked about here. If you've got one to share, drop us a line at info@radio2funky.co, on Radio 2 Funky 95 FM, on DAB Radio as well. That's a big deal in the context of radio. Leicester's premier black music and art station. And this is Mahmood, who's really been happy looking after you guys. Hope to see you all next week. Take it easy, take care, have a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to play you out now with Blue World.
Yeah, well, this mad world made me crazy.